What's good? It's your boy Dre Black, and we are back with another Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War video. In this video, we will be ranking the best primary weapons for each class based off my personal opinion and based off the attachments that I chose for each gun. First off, I want to say go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to drop this video on my birthday. I hope I drop it on my birthday. My birthday is November 9th. So if it's November 9th and you don't see this video, then I lied to you. But it should be here on Monday. So everybody clap it up for your boy. My birthday. Hey, hey. Well, yeah, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe because we're going to be playing some Call of Duty Cold War a lot because you already saw me pre-ordering on stream on Twitch. So you already know I'm going to be on here making videos and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and kick the video off with the AR weapons. First off, we got the XM4, okay? I really didn't like this gun that much starting out. My biggest issue with this gun with no attachments was the low damage. The damage was too low for me. I feel like I had to get a bunch of shots in just to kill somebody. So these are the attachments that I have for the XM4. For the muzzle, we have the infantry compensator. For the barrel, we have the paratrooper. For the underbarrel, we have the infiltrator grip. For the handle, we have warden tight grip. For the stock, we have the wire stock. I chose these based off my experience playing with this gun with no attachments. And with these attachments attached, this is the performance that I got. I got faster movement with the gun. The gun was like a lot more accurate. The gun was very powerful, but it wasn't more powerful than the Krig 6. The weapon was very loud. It was a very loud weapon. So some of you might want to put a suppressor on it. And I thought it was more consistent than the AK-47. So I'm gonna rank the XM4 rank 2 out of all the ARs. Moving on to the AK-47, we have bad recoil and slow movement with no attachments. The recoil with no attachments it was just too much for me in my personal taste. I've personally never been really good with the AK-47 on any game. Not just Call of Duty, just any game in general. I don't know why. And the movement of the AK-47 was just really slow. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off the attachments that I have for the AK-47. For the muzzle, I have the infantry compensator. For the barrel, I have the paratrooper. For the underbarrel, I have the infiltrator grip. For the handle, we got the warden tight grip. For the stock, we got the commando assembly. Okay, and with these attachments, the ADS was still slow. The range for the AK-47 was limited, but the recoil was controlled. It was a lot better. And because of this, I'm gonna rank the AK-47 number 3 out of all the primary assault rifles. Moving on to our next gun, we got the Krig 6. The Krig 6 is my personal favorite AR on this game, okay? With no attachments, it's powerful, but it just needs a higher fire rate and better movement. That's it, in my personal opinion. So, with that being said, the attachments I gave the Krig 6, for the muzzle, we got the flash guard. For the barrel, we got the extended barrel. For the underbarrel, we got the infiltrator grip. For the handle, we have the warden tight grip. And for the stock, we have wire stock. And with this, I felt like the Krig 6 was a beast, man. Like I said, this is my favorite weapon. The only thing I would add to this Krig 6 class is a sight maybe, or a mag, one of the two. But other than that, it was powerful. It was accurate at close and mid-range, and the ADS was very quick. So because of this, I gave the Krig 6 rank 1 out of all the ARs. Okay, moving on to the next gun, the QBZ-83. Okay, when using the QBZ-83 with no attachments, I felt like the recoil was bad, and that was my biggest complaint about this gun. Everything else was fair with no attachments, but the recoil was just not great. So I gave the attachments that I got for this gun. For the barrel, I used the paratrooper. For the underbarrel, I used the field agent grip. For the for the magazine, I used the RD drum. This is probably one of the only guns that I actually used a magazine, and the magazine I used was the round drum. For the handle, we got the Warden tight grip. For the stock, we got the CQB pad. And with all these attachments, I feel like the QBZ was accurate, but at a limited range. I couldn't get people at mid-range. Every time I had an encounter, it was like I would lose because their gun had better range than mine. Also, at a certain range, this gun was not accurate at all. Like, it was hard to hit targets at far range. Also, the QBZ didn't have good firepower, I felt like, even with all these attachments. So because of this, I gave the QBZ rank 4 out of all the primary weapons. So just to recap, we got the Krig 6 as number 1. We got the XM4 as number 2. We got the AK-47 as number 3, and the QBZ-83 falling in last place at number 4 for the primary weapons. This is really good because the XM4 is the first AR that you get, and it's already at number 2, and the Krig 6 is the third AR that you get, and it doesn't take too much of a grind to get to it. So that's actually really good because you can start off with the XM4 and then work your way up to the Krig 6 to have a better gameplay. All right, moving on to the SMGs. First off, we got the MP5, okay? The MP5 with no attachments had very good accuracy. It had a good fire rate. It was no clear weakness at first, you know. The only thing that I found about the MP5 was it could use more ammo. That was like probably the only thing. But with the attachments that I chose, for the muzzle, I chose the infantry compensator. For the barrel, I chose the paratrooper. For the underbarrel, I chose the patrol grip. For the handle, I chose Warden tight grip. For the stock, I chose collapse stock. With all of these attachments, I feel like the MP5 had fast ADS, fast fire rate, great range, great accuracy, and the only thing that it needed was a mag. The only reason I didn't put on a mag is because I wanted to like buff all its weaknesses and buff all its strengths. So I should have put a mag on this class, and feel free to do so. And I keep in mind, I only chose 5 attachments for every gun, just in case you didn't want to use that one perk that gave you 8 attachments. So I chose 5 intentionally to try to see what the best 5 attachments were. Because of these attachments, I gave the MP5 rank number 1 for all the SMGs. So moving on to the next gun, we got the Milano 821. The Milano 821, I feel like had very bad range for SMG. The firepower was fair. It was a very accurate. It was an accurate gun, good magazine size, and the recoil was fair with no attachments. With attachments, these are the attachments that I chose. For the muzzle, we got the infantry compensator. For the barrel, we got the paratrooper. For the underbarrel, we got the red cell foregrip. For the handle, we got the Warden tight grip. For the stock, we got the marathon stock. With these attachments, the accuracy on the Milano 821 was good accuracy, and the fire rate was good. But other than that, compared to all the other SMGs, it just didn't really stand out too much. So because of that, I gave the Milano 821 rank number 3 out of all the SMGs. Moving on to the next gun, we got the AK-74U. With no attachments, I feel like the recoil was bad, the ADS was fair, and the accuracy was fair. The attachments that I chose for this gun, the muzzle was infantry compensator, the barrel was the extended barrel, underbarrel was red cell foregrip. We got the handle as the Warden tight grip, and for the stock, I chose no stock. With these attachments, I feel like the AK-74U had a fair accuracy. It had good range, but it had a bad horizontal accuracy. And based off these attachments that I chose for this gun, I'm gonna have to rank the AK-74U as number 4. Next, we have the KSP-45. This gun with no attachments had good accuracy and good fire rate. I didn't really have too many complaints with this gun. The attachments I chose for this gun, the muzzle was the infantry compensator, the barrel was the paratrooper, the underbarrel was the red cell foregrip, the handle was the Warden tight grip, the stock was the commando assembly. With these attachments, the KSP-45 had great accuracy, good firepower, great recoil. The movement speed was fast, but it wasn't as fast as the MP5. And because of that, I'm going to give this gun number 2. So as a recap, we got the MP5 as number 1. We got the KSP-45 as number 2. We got the Milano 821 as number 3. And we got the AK-74U as number 4. What's good about this is the MP5 is the first SMG gun that you get, and it's already ranked number 1. So when you first start the game, you can already start leveling up your MP5 immediately, all the way until you get the second place, KSP-45, which is the last gun. But you might not even need to use that gun, because by the time you get that gun unlocked, your MP5 will probably have all the attachments unlocked. But it's all based off of personal preference. So let's go ahead and move on to the tactical rifles. The first gun we have is the Type 63. Okay, this is the Type 63. This gun was accurate. It had a fair flinch resistance, so it was like when somebody shoots you and you're trying to shoot back, the flinch was fair with no attachments. It had fair damage, fair fire rate, and a longer range. The attachments that I chose for this one, I think this is the only gun that I actually used the optic for. I call it the 2x, but it's the Vision Tech 2X for the optic. For the muzzle, I chose infantry compensator. For the barrel, I chose rapid fire. For the underbarrel, I chose infiltrator grip. For the handle, I chose warden tight grip. With these attachments, I feel like this gun was very accurate, quick fire rate, and a fast ADS. And because of this, I gave this number 1. And I'm going to explain why this is number 1 after we go ahead and talk about the M16. The M16, with no attachments, it had a fast fire rate, it was accurate, and it did better at a closer range. The attachments I chose for this gun are the infantry compensator, the barrel, that's for the muzzle. The barrel is rapid fire. The underbarrel is the infiltrator grip. The handle is the warden tight grip, and the stock is commando assembly. With these attachments, the gun was accurate. It had good fire rate, fair recoil, and fair range. And because of this, I gave this gun number 2. The reason why the Type 63 is number 1 and the M16 is number 2, and keep in mind there's only 2 tactical rifles, in my opinion, is because I would rather bet on the accuracy of the Type 63 than the fire rate of the M16. I feel like the Type 63 is so accurate, in fact, that it is hard to miss your target. And the M16, you can miss your target, although the gun shoots really fast. And keep in mind, this is a burst. The M16 is a burst. So my personal preference is that I don't usually use burst. But you guys might like the M16 more than the Type 63. It's based off of personal preference, but this is just based off my ranking. So as a recap, we got the Type 63 as number 1, and we got the M16 as number 2. Next, we have the LMGs. Starting off with the Stoner 63 with no attachments. This gun had a slow ADS. It had fair fire rate and slow movement speed, but high damage. The attachments I chose for this gun, for the barrel, we have the SOR cut down. For the underbarrel, we have the infiltrator grip. For the magazine, we have the fast mag. For the handle, we have task force rear grip. For the stock, we have no stock. With these attachments, I felt like the Stoner 63 had fair ADS, fair movement speed, good fire rate, but it still felt slow. And because of this, I'm going to give this number 2. Moving to the next gun, we have the RPD. The RPD with no attachments had a quicker ADS than the Stoner 63, quicker movement speed than the Stoner 63, and fair recoil. But good damage, but not as great as the Stoner 63. With no attachments, this gun still felt like a LMG, which it should, but it didn't feel like a slow LMG. And the attachments that I chose for this gun are: the muzzle is the infantry compensator, the barrel is takedown, the underbarrel is infiltrator grip, the handle is warden tight grip, the stock is tactical stock. With these attachments, the RPD had a very fast movement speed, quick ADS, felt light, and the gun had good fire rate. This RPD almost felt like an AR and not an LMG, and because of that, I'm gonna give this rank number 1. The Stoner 63 is ranked number 2, and the Stoner 63 just felt too slow for me, although it is an LMG. But it was just too slow for all the fast-paced movement of a Black Ops game. So I'm gonna give the RPD number 1 and the Stoner 63 number 2. Moving on to our next class of guns, we have the sniper rifles. The first sniper rifle we're gonna talk about is the Pelington 703. Okay, this gun was my baby. In the alpha of Cold War, the Pelington was very strong and very quick, but I feel like in the beta they kind of nerfed it, I believe. With no attachments, the ADS for the Pelington 703 was fair, the sway of the gun was fair, and the damage was good. The attachments I chose for the Pelington 703, the muzzle is stabilizer 308, the barrel is paratrooper, the underbarrel is infiltrator grip, the handle is warden tight grip, and the stock is marathon stock. With these attachments, the Pelington 703 was very accurate. It had good damage and good ADS. It wasn't too much complaints, but I still ranked it number 2, and I'll explain why after we talk about our next gun, which is the LW3 Tundra. The LW3 Tundra with no attachments is very powerful. Well, it's powerful and it's accurate. Very accurate. The attachments I chose for this gun are identical to the same attachments I chose for the Pelington 703. The muzzle is the stabilizer 308. Barrel is paratrooper. Underbarrel is the infiltrator grip. Handle is the warden tight grip. And the stock is marathon stock. With these attachments, the LW3 Tundra had great accuracy, great damage, and quick ADS. And I gave this gun number 1. The reason I chose the Tundra over the Pelington is because the ADS and the damage and the accuracy felt right. The accuracy felt right, the damage felt right, and the ADS just felt right. It was quicker. I feel like it did more damage, and I feel like by the gun being more accurate, I was able to get headshots more. So even if the Pelington damage is higher than the Tundra I could get better headshots than the Pelington. The Pelington I would get body shots more, but the Tundra I feel like I got a lot more headshots. And because of that, I gave the LW3 Tundra rank 1 and the Pelington 703 rank number 2. And that is it for the primary weapons on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Comment down below how you guys feel about each gun. Let me know if you feel indifferent about a gun that I chose or what rank I gave it. And let me know if you feel the same about a gun that I chose, or maybe the rank that I chose for it. Also, just anything that you have on the video, any type of feedback, let me know. And I'm excited to be playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, man. We got a week left. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like button. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.